approval of minutes from June 10th. Everyone had a chance to look those over? Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Duffin?
Yes.
Commissioner White?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone?
Yes. All right, next up, citizens' comments. All right, let's don't forget, comments, this is your only chance to make comments. You're limited to 3 minutes as per state law. Your comments have to remain on what you've got on the agenda, please. Ms. Millheiser.
Thank you, Mayor, Committeemen, women. I'm here tonight to talk about our library. I think many of you in the audience are interested in our library. If you can't hear me, I'll yell. On the 10th of June, the City Commission, in a meeting, voted to withdraw from the Marion County Library Board. That was the first step. On the 30th of June, the Marion County Commission voted for South Pittsburg to receive $97,533, bypassing the Marion County Library. As you may know, we received more money than last year. I forgot to say thank you, City Commission, for starting this process. On the 30th, the Marion County Commission approved an Ethics Committee investigation into the Marion County Library Board. Today, the city has a resolution to consider to advise the Tennessee state government that South Pittsburg establishes Bean Patterson Municipal Library with a local board with bylaws, policies, members approved by our city commission. South Pittsburg will appoint its own library director. We are moving all the business, if this goes through, we are moving all our business in-house, which I think is important. In the past year, the Bean Pearson Library was reduced in size by the construction of an office for an executive director of the Marion County Library Board. I don't know how many of you know that, but that really upset me that we have this small library and they take up space to make an office. With your actions to form the South Pittsburg Municipal Library Board, that space will be returned to South Pittsburg. Thank you, City, for starting the process. We look forward to its completion.
Next, Daniel Hindeleiter, is that the way you pronounce it?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Not a lot of people get that right on the first round, so I do appreciate that. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and residents. My name is Daniel Hindeleiter, a South Pittsburg resident concerned about our city's financial transparency around the Cornbread Festival, the National Cornbread Festival. I've requested public records from the City of South Pittsburg, a nonprofit, filed Tennessee Office of Open Records Council complaints, and requested a state audit from the Tennessee Comptroller. I urge this council to address these issues to restore trust. The National Cornbread Festival relies on city support like police, maintenance workers, yet the 2024 annual financial report shows no related costs. May 18th, I requested public records of these expenditures, but the city claimed no financial records exist and ignored my May 19th and 27th follow-up requests. In June, I spoke with the city administrator, Michael Hudson, who is yet to get back to me. These costs, like police overtime, city maintenance workers, or any in-kind support, should be in the general fund or proprietary budgets. Why are public expenditures unreported, and when will the city respond to my request? IRS Form 990s lists Mayor Sean Henson as Vice President and Commissioner Beth Duggar as President of the National Cornbread Festival from 2020 through 2024. They may still serve, though I lack that current list. This creates a potential conflict of interest under Tennessee Code annotated 850-502 and 654-107. As the roles past or present could influence undocumented city support. The city's claim of nothing to do with the festival undermines trust. Will y'all confirm the past and present current board status and recuse from festival decisions? The city's response to my May 18th and failure to respond to my May 19th public records request violates Tennessee Public Records Act 7-day rule. I filed Tennessee Office of Open Record Council complaints on June 9th and 25th. The National Cornbread Festival ignored my May 17th request for 990s, violating IRS rules. I sent them a follow-up request on the 25th. In addition, I've asked for a list of the board of directors. This suggests opacity. How will the city comply with the law and help ensure nonprofit accountability? The 2024 audit report shows $738,925 in unearned grant revenue and delayed record closure, indicating accounting weaknesses. These, with festival transparency gaps and conflicts, prompted my May 17th and June 26th state audit requests. The state audit will ensure accountability. Will this council support and commit to transparent reporting, including festival costs? In closing, I ask the council to disclose festival expenditures, address the conflict of interests, respond in full to my records request, and support a state audit. Transparency only benefits our community. I urge the residents to contact the state comptroller to request a state audit from the city of South Pittsburg. Thank you.
Next, Holly Stewart.
Thank you for having me as city commissioners and mayor. I wanted to ask you to consider reinstituting the ability of the city workers to come around routinely and pick up our brush. Currently, for the last 2 years, give or take a little bit, we've had to call City Hall and ask that a ticket be placed. So this allows people that either don't have the ability to do so or don't know how or wait around for weeks like we ended up doing this last time, to permit the brush to just continue to stack up. So in front of you, you do have photographs. The brush pile you see on the back page was put out the week of June the 13th, the 16th, and stayed there 3 weeks. So the following week, we went on vacation and came back home, pull into our drive, and there's a big pile of brush. Only now it's not quite as big because it's decayed. It's created a fire hazard. Finally, I called City Hall on July the 3rd, and it was picked up today, the 8th. So there used to be a way that the city workers were trusted to be able to go up and down the streets, pick up brush, not have to call and file a ticket. For whatever reason, I have some inclination, but we won't go into that. I'm just asking that the city commission ask to have that ability to be reinstated. Part of the reasons why I believe that we can do that, we have a nice, really young department head that's able to do that. If we don't trust the city workers to do that, then some other unburdensome ability needs to be implemented. It does not need to go back to the citizens of the city to do that. I understand there's also a link on the website. A lot of people don't have access to the website. I have an 88-year-old mom. She's not going to go on a website and ask for brush to be picked up. So that's just something nice that you guys can consider doing and giving back to the citizens of South Pittsburg. Last year we had a tax increase greater than any in our area. It went up by 135.4%. The City Works Department is already paying wages of $377,000 in the budget, so I think that's part of the consideration. You've got people that are hired to do a job, should not come back to the citizens of South Pittsburg, and the onus should go back to the city to be able to supply that. You'll see in front of you too, I also checked with Jasper, Kimball, and Bridgeport. None of those folks have a process that their citizens have to call City Hall. So just consider that. Let the city workers do their job. Let's get the brush off the streets and help beautify our town. So, thank you.
First thing I've got, next month, our meeting is scheduled for the 12th, and I need to be out of town on that day. Does anybody have any opposition to moving it to the 11th? Me? I need a motion.
You do. Mayor,
Yeah.
we have court that day
At 5,
at 5 Pittsburgh. depends on how many people show up, Mayor.
Sean, actually, I'm gonna be out of town for Wednesday.
So, can we?
14th?
How about 6:30 on that Monday? You think 6:30, 7 o'clock would be?
I'll push it as hard as I can,
So at 6:30 on that Monday?
I could
Oh, you're out
also,
of town on that Monday.
I could also reach out to the judge and see if he wants to reschedule the court for either the next day on a city meeting day or for the following month, whatever you want to do.
Would you do that?
Which one you want me to do?
See if you can schedule for the next day or the
Yes, sir.
following Monday.
I'll work on that tomorrow.
Well, you won't be here though, Beth. I'm sorry. That won't work. That won't work. How about the following Monday? Yeah. Everybody good with that? August 18th. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to move the 18th.
I got Matt here. You want a second? Mine?
Second.
Commissioner.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
Commissioner Duffy.
Yes.
Commissioner Myers. Vice Mayor Stone. Mayor Kinsler.
Yes.
Mayor, one thing, in that regard, you need to make sure that you do a newspaper notice to that effect as well as any other, the city's website.
Still 6 o'clock, right?
Still 6 o'clock, yes, sir.
To comply with sunshine law.
All right, and I would like to thank everyone that came out for the 4th of July event we had downtown. Had a pretty good crowd, as hot as it was. I think they gave away a lot of free hot dogs, some free slides, karaoke, fireworks, of course. That's all I've got. Vice Mayor Sonic. Commissioner Allen.
I'll save mine down for new business.
Commissioner Duggar.
No.
Commissioner Myers.
I like as Will. I noticed that sometimes these flags, when you put them up and break them, is there another way, put a boat and a clip through them, or is it how they're being done, or you know what to do?
We use little clips, and the problem is they rust and break. There's just so many of them. We catch them when we can and try to replace them. We got boxes of them. We try to replace them as we're putting them back up. That way, when we put them back out, they're good, but they rust. We don't notice them sometimes if we get them down. It's a problem. Once they're up, you know what I mean.
All right, City Administrator Hudson.
Got to ask Commissioner Ms. Milhauser to come in. Big you. Alright, so first thing I have on the agenda is the authorization to proceed with redrawings of the Armory project. Bill and I met with the architect, Mr. Winneman, who's over that project. I think I gave that report at the last meeting. Since then, he sent us a bill for those redrawings in the amount of $78,000. And I need board approval to move forward with that.
That's not a bill, that's a proposal.
Proposal, yes, for the drawings. I'm sorry. I see dollar signs, I think bills automatically. But $78,000, and as I explained before, that money will be paid out of the grant funds, contingent money, which we have $148,000. So that will not affect the $1.1 million we have set aside for construction costs. So I need board approval before I can move forward with that.
What's it for? I can't
Do
hear
we
you.
have a motion?
We can't hear you.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sorry. Would you like me to stand at the podium?
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be great.
Feel more comfortable up here. All right, so let me rephrase this. Last month, I don't know who was at the meeting, but we went over the fact that we're going to go back and look at the drawings for the armory so we can save some money. I don't know if I need to get into that into detail like I did before, but $2.9 million is what the bids were on the armory to construct it with an additional building for mental health and then the remaining armory would be turned into a rec center for our citizens. So the board wanted me to go back to the architect to place that new building into the existing footprint to save money. I had to go back to the architect to get those drawings redone, showing that building, the new building, taking it off the plans, putting it into the existing footprint, which will save us around $1 million, if not more. We have a pot of money of $1.1 million in grant funds sitting there for construction. We have $148,000 set aside in contingent grant funds to pay for architectural fees. So we went back to the drawing board in order to move forward with the drawings and move forward on this project. We have to pay the architect for those new plans, which is in the amount of $78,000.
And you've already paid him?
No, ma'am. I need approval from this board to do that. Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of power to write a check for $78,000. If I did that, these guys wouldn't be very happy.
No, I meant for the other drawings.
That's what this is for, ma'am.
Okay, that's,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's not new money; it's grant money. But I still have to get board approval to do so. Yeah.
I do have an issue because the architect gave a proposal and he stated that the mental health needed 2,500 square feet. Now originally, it was gonna be Smiles and Vita, and they needed 2,500 square feet. And when all that went away and mental health was the only one remaining, the architect just kept it at 2,500 square feet. Actually, the bid drawings that were 2.9 had 2 consulting rooms and an office for mental health. And they had to share everything else with dental, which HIPAA is not gonna allow anyway. So, if the architect is telling us what he's basing the $78,000 on, if you put 2,500 square feet in mental health, that big toilet area, which is very expensive to design and very expensive to build, is gonna have to be moved. I've talked with Mrs. Johnson, and she doesn't need as many consulting rooms, she doesn't need an exam room. He gave her a meeting room, which they will use 4 to 6 times a month, but it was inside their domain, so it couldn't be used by anybody else. We can put that meeting room to where both rec, South Pittsburg, and mental health can both use it. Both give her 1,300 square feet, which will give us 1,200 more square feet, and we don't have to move the bathrooms. Now, I think we can get that 78,000 down.
That's possible, and that's why Mr. Wintermer has asked to meet with Ms. Johnson on site and myself.
Yeah.
And like I've explained to you, Bill, you're welcome to be there. And that's why we're going through this process to cut all the money we can.
I would say the proposal should say a maximum of 78,000.
We could say that, a maximum of 78,000, and that's fine. But like Bill was saying, yes, mental health is saying that they may not need an additional 2,500 square feet. And without getting into the details yet, without meeting on site with the architect, I don't want to say that for sure. I want mental health to be there with the architect and myself. If they tell him that, tell us that, I'm fine with it.
Right.
But as of right now, the new drawings are at 78, and that, like Bill said, that could possibly come in.
So
But-
why are we letting the architect tell us what we want done?
Because we haven't been telling the architect.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's
We
why-
need to be telling him what we want done down there at the National Guard Armory to renovate it, to get it where we could use it if
And-
we agreed.
And that's what we did,
Spend the
Mike.
money.
And that's why we cut out $1 million already. Now, when we get down to a few hundred square feet, we can get that out. If it's feasible, we'll do it. But what we've done so far, going back and taking the new construction off and putting it in the new footprints is automatically going to save us up to $1 million. And I'm with you. Ultimately, once we get this thing drawn out to where we want it, we'll come back to this board and hopefully it'll be down to close to the 1.1 million that we have, and it won't cost us much of anything. That's the goal. And that's when I'll come back to this board, and if there's a difference in cost there, then that's a decision you guys have to make. My job is to get the cost down, that's what we've done.
Can we, do a bill with him and have follow-up to see?
Oh, we are. We're gonna have an on-site follow-up with mental health there.
Well, what I was saying is that there's a difference in 2,500 being developed, that
Yes.
he's having to draw up versus 12 or 1,300.
Right.
That's half the size, so it should theoretically be half the time and half the cost.
I agree. The problem is, when we met with them this last time, mental health wasn't at the table. They weren't there telling the architect that they didn't need that much. They stated that later. And before we move forward, of course, that's why he wants to meet them on site. So we can get a better understanding of what exactly they want.
But we're hopefully this next meeting, we'll get the architect on the same page as South Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and he's already confident, I can read you the email directly, that we're gonna cut it under 2 million. So that's almost $1 million off the top right there. And what I explained to him, what we want out of this project, is we want a functional building that's presentable to the public, that we can afford. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what we'll get before we move forward. But I have to pay this gentleman his money to move forward.
So can we get do we want to get an updated proposal for what you're referring to?
Well, he's gonna,
You're gonna delay the process even
Yep.
more.
my meeting with Mrs. Johnson is correct, because he showed her plans with the 2,500 square feet, and, you know, sure, I'll take that. But I asked her, he gave her 4 consulting rooms, an exam room. This isn't a physical thing. I don't know where mental health needs an exam room. That's what the consulting rooms are. She's got her own break room, storage room. They added the meeting room because they weren't gonna put in 8 or 9 consulting rooms. And she doesn't need meetings, but it just doesn't have to, he was just filling up space, I think.
But then again, I want to
I've
say,
gotta make sure, I mean,
yeah,
if she changes her mind, then she.
right, and we don't know that. But again, once again, you know, this is not new money. This is complete contingent grant money. This is not coming out of the city's budget. This is grant money.
No, I understand, I don't want to spend more than we have to spend.
Sure.
I'm just thinking,
But now, on Bill's proposal, I got to push back on it a little bit too, because I don't think we should have a shared room between mental health and a public rec center. That space, I don't think, should be shared.
What?
You said that you wanted both sides to have access to that meeting room.
To the meeting room, yeah.
I'm not sure if that'd be a good idea, but that's something we can hash out later.
We block off
Yeah.
one from coming in.
But, and there again, like I said, we've already, I think, cut out $1 million. If we cut out more, we definitely will. That's why I'm doing this project, trying to take it up to save the city money.
So, I mean, this is contingency money. It's approved contingency money
That's
right now.
right. We got 148,000.
So, this 78,000 that you're
Comes out.
asking us to approve,
Yeah.
but it may come down to 40,000.
It's not gonna come down that far.
I mean, 45,000.
It won't come
50,000.
down that far, Mike.
I mean, if we cut,
But okay, so we got 1.1 million that's not gonna be touched. The 148 is contingent money to pay this architect, and it's funded through grant money. That, it's not new city money, but I can't approve this, and nor can the development district until you guys approve it. You wanna vote it down, we'll stop now, and that's, we can do that.
Can the contingency money be spent on anything else other than?
Now that I don't know. But that's what the city's spending on it so far, and you guys have spent 300 grand on it almost at this point. And if you stop now, if you want to stop now and not do it, you need to stop now, because it's going to get more expensive. But if you want to go into this and try to save money and get the job done, we need to do it. We need to move forward.
So how much has you spent on architectural fees Compared to what the cost of the building's gonna be.
We don't know what the cost is.
Well, it sounded like 20% to me.
The architectural fees, we've spent 280-something thousand out of grant money, not city money.
I get that,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, that's the highest architect I ever heard of.
Really?
Vote
That's
it down,
ridiculous.
guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Vote the project down and we'll stop today.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw this out
Yeah.
there. Most architects I deal with, you can get a planning package from them to get you a budgetary number. Have we not done that yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know,
Ridiculous.
we don't know what the cost of the building is gonna be. It started at 2.9, we've got it down under 2. Once this drawing is complete, once this blueprints are complete and we agree to it,
So are
then
these state approved drawings
That-
already, or is that where you're going?
that's where we're going. Let me finish. So,
Yep.
once we get these blueprints to where we want them, right, then there will be a cost estimate done. And then we'll have a better understanding what the overall project will be. At this point, the last bid the city did was 2.9. And he's telling me now we can get it under 2, and possibly even more. But we don't know until we get our drawings down to where we want them, approved, and rebid. Well, I mean, I can't tell you that cost because I don't know yet. I don't know. And if you stop here, we're not gonna know. And that's what I'm getting at. So,
If we had a contract for 280,000, it was 9.3% is what their fees are,
okay.
which
Pretty high. 67 usually is what it is.
No. I mean, we can, like I said, you guys can vote it down, we can stop now. We'll leave that grant money on the table. And I've talked to Southeast Tennessee Development District, you stop this project now, you're more than welcome to do that. I can't nail them down on whether or not they'll make us pay that grant money back that we spent, but I can tell you this, it's gonna give the city of South Pittsburgh a black eye on grants we go after in the future. Right now, you're not spending taxpayers' money. You're spending grant money, which is taxpayers' money, but it doesn't come out of the city budget. Some point, when we get the cost estimate back, if we get the cost estimate back, if it's $1.1 million, then it's gonna be funded all by grant money. If there's a difference between 1.1 and what it's gonna cost to build it, then that's when this board is gonna have to come back and fund it or not.
So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm
Yeah.
used to more of the process is you get the proposal from the architect to go to a planning package. It's $100,000, and that gets you budgetary numbers. That gives you drawings, a basic set of drawings that you can get out to your architect,
Yes.
to your contractors, to give you that budget.
They did that already.
Okay.
We
But you
bid-
didn't ever get the budget number.
We bid the project out, that's what I'm saying. This has been done, and it's been bid out, and it came back at 2.9 million.
Came back $1 million over.
Yes.
original.
So,
Over what we budgeted
Yeah.
and the grant money came in.
it's been done.
So you've already did that.
So,
That's-
what I've done, it went back to save money, and we've already cut $1 million out.
What did you cut?
Okay, like I explained before, the original drawing at the Armory called for a new building to be built onto the Armory, right? So we went back to the drawing board. We had the architect, that's what he's doing now, cutting out the new building, placing the mental health that was going in that building into the existing footprint. Does that make sense?
It does.
This has already been bid out. This is just us trying to save money.
Trying to cut costs off the project.
And what I'm trying to get at is, and this board has every right to stop this project, and that's fine, but you're leaving grant money on the table, and you've already spent 280-something thousand. So you either go forward, or you stop. And that's totally your call. You go forward, I'll do everything in my power to make it work the cheapest way I can.
I'm still concerned with the current drawing coming back, correct me if I'm wrong, is coming back to put a 2,500 square foot building inside the Armory.
Yes.
The one that.
Yeah, mental health just moves into the, what I call the south end of the little brick building. So it'll take up 2,500 square feet of that.
Yes.
And what little bit is left after you put the toys in is gonna be for recreation plus you've got the armory.
But wasn't that part of that 2,500 gonna be Smiles and?
No,
No.
Smiles left.
It's mental
I
health.
understand that, but the original plan, the original plan, the 2,500 was gonna be
Smiles
mental
is
health
right up.
and Smiles, right?
Smiles
No.
right over in the new building.
Miles is out.
I know they're out, that's what I'm
But
saying.
it wasn't
But the
Smiles.
original plan, why were we even bringing up Smiles then?
We're not.
Well, I was gonna, just because the architect started off with 2,500 square feet of new building, and he kept that. I mean, it's changed who's gonna be in there, so that changes the dynamic of how much space you need.
And I'm confused, guys, because we've just cut out $1 million of this project. And it's all grant money. I'm confused as to why you wouldn't want to go forward. Why would,
Nobody's saying we don't want to go forward.
I'm just confused.
Here's what my concern is. If you overspend the money, the grant money,
You can't overspend it.
you
At this point.
spend all you get.
Yes.
You go on
Yes.
and get rid, you
Yes.
spend all you get.
Yes, ma'am.
But, and then you've got $200,000 or $300,000 of more
Yes.
equipment you need.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've gotta come to the city to get it.
That's right.
Okay, right now, do we have the money to do that? Plus, our city hall just has been
Well, first,
contaminated or whatever you call it. I mean,
no, I see what you're saying, and that's
we
what
can't raise taxes
No,
anymore.
no. We've not got to that point. What I'm trying to, and like I said before, once the new drawings come in, right, the new plan, okay, then there will be a cost estimate, and then it will be bid out. If it comes in over the 1.1 million in construction money we have, like you said, say it's 1.3, I come back to this board. At that point, they decide if they're going to fund it or not. That's when we're not there yet, but we have already cut out $1 million of it, and we're trying to get more.
So if they can't fund
Then
it,
you shut it.
then we've
That's right.
lost everything.
No, well, I mean, well, first of all, one, this has been going on for how many years, guys?
It's been on a year and a half.
Year and a half. So,
If we back out of the Armory project,
Yeah.
it's not gonna matter if it's what the architectural number is, whether we add an additional 75,000, they're either gonna let us not have to pay it, or they're gonna make us pay it.
right.
So,
And,
we're already down, we've already begun this process.
yes,
It'd be foolish to not,
Do it.
at least get it down to where we know if we can move forward or not.
right. So, and that's what I'm getting at. So, and I can't sit here and tell you how much is gonna be cut out yet,
Right.
because I don't know.
No way.
And you've got grant money sitting on the table, grant money to help you get to that point, so why leave it on the table?
So what you're asking for is a motion one way or the other.
That's right. You guys voted down
Motion to approve,
Yeah.
a motion
to pay the architect. Yeah.
I would entertain a motion. I'll make a motion. Second.
Commissioner Allen,
No.
Commissioner Duggar,
Yes.
Commissioner Myers, Vice Mayor Stone.
Yes.
Mayor Kinsler.
Yes.
All right. I like good debate like that. It helps me, gives me a little bit sharper. All right, good news. The comptroller approved our budget. Each of you got a letter in there. On June 27th, I got a letter from comptroller approving our 2026 budget. They determined revenues and other funds met expenditures. So that's a good note. We don't need any action on that. I will, if you have any questions about the budget, I'll be glad to answer them if you'd like. All right, so let me see, what's next on the agenda, guys? I didn't bring my
Moore Park.
Update on Moore Park. And this is is a grant we received 3 years ago. And I come in on the end of it about 3 months ago. We had about $150,000 sitting there of unused money, like I was explaining with the Armory project, a little bit different, but so we had $150,000 we had to spend or less. Sort of like I was talking with the Armory project. Since then, the past 3 months, we took that $150,000. We've done upgrades to Moore Park. We've put in new playground equipment, new exercise equipment, new baseball field bases, backstops, bleachers, benches are on the way. We've also got some musical playground equipment on the way that should be installed in the next 6 months. And we've resurfaced the courts up there, installed 3 pickleball courts and a basketball court. The netting for the pickleball courts are also on the way moving forward. We will upgrade the bathrooms and also put in security cameras. All that was done through grant money. So the idea is to button up Moore Park and move on to Lloyd Park, where we've applied for a $450,000 diabetes grant for Lloyd, and we'll know if we get that in the next week. If we get that, we'll start a 3-year project on that park, spend $150,000 per year for 3 years. And hopefully you'll see a big improvement down there. And that's where we're at on the parks. And, you know, going back to the Armory thing, it's kind of like that. If we had not stepped up and done that, that grant money would have gone away. And that's what we're trying to do on this Armory project as well. Okay, guys, any questions on this? All right. Any questions from the audience? Thank you.
Street department.
That's a hard one to follow, there. So on the street department side, just to Ms. Stewart's point, we've got 5 new employees that's been hired in less than a year, so we've got a lot of training that's happening right now. Not making excuses. The weather's been terrible for us. The grass, we've had to put several people mowing, just try to keep up with the mowing and whatnot. Also being a little short-handed for most of that time. So we're working on it. We're also going to, I talked to Mr. Hudson a little yesterday and this evening. We're going to develop a thing for the website, which I understand everybody can't use the website, and that's understandable. But to see where we're at on our route, if we're on the south end or the north end, to kind of see where we're at. That way, if we did miss you, you could call City Hall. We could come get it. Otherwise, we just run a route. We run every alley, every street. Not saying things don't get missed, but what happens is like, for example, this week, we ended last week halfway through the south end. So Monday, we had to turn around and pick back up to finish that end. And what causes that, where somebody's on vacation and I don't have enough manpower to put people in the alleys because I've got other things going on, road closures, whatever else, that's where it gets behind. So I apologize, that's on us. We'll get better as time goes on. There's also another system that we're gonna look at here, probably not anytime soon, but there's like a work order system type, to where when something is turned into City Hall, it allows me and my crew to prioritize work and to create a backlog of work. That way nothing's missed. The problem is these tickets that we fill out, not knocking any system that we've used, that's old school stuff. I mean, it's hard to keep up with 1,000 slips of paper and I'm handing them to 7 different people. I mean, it's hard to keep up with all of that. So like I said, not making excuses, but we'll get better. Also on the road side, we're going to have to close Old Jasper Road here pretty soon, probably in the next couple of days. With all the rain that we've had, we noticed, we were cleaning drains out there last week, and we noticed a cavity in the road that goes more than halfway under the road, that's hollowed the road out. The good thing is there's still quite a bit of dirt there under the road, so it's buried itself into the ground. So we're going to have to completely cut that road out, dig the tile that's in there out, put a bigger tile in, re-gravel it, re-asphalt. So it could be blocked up a couple of weeks maybe. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work.
Is this Old Jasper Road or is this Coburntown?
Coburntown, I'm sorry, did I say Old Jasper?
Where do you use that?
It's past the U. Go past the U, and it's right when you go up the hill, there's a drain, a tile to the left, you can see it, but there's a hole. I've got a picture I can show you after, but it's a good sized hole. It's pretty big. And I'm worried that the road's going to collapse with vehicles going across it, so we're just going to close it, cut it, and repair it. The problem is, well, I don't guess, yeah, it is a problem. People can't get in that way. So I've got to figure something out. Either we're going to have to split up into 2 crews and work overnight to try to get the road reopened where people can get in and out. We're going to have to get creative and try to figure that out. It's just on everybody's radar. On the park side, like Mr. Hudson said, we've got a lot of irons in the fire. Moore Park, Lloyd Park. Our parks crew also does our mowing, so it's just hit and miss. We've done a lot of work at Lloyd preparing for the grant. We've still got some things to button up at Moore, like he said. We got turf delivered for our old shop back behind the armory. We got enough turf delivered and donated to cover the whole floor, and we're going to make an indoor hitting facility. Should be very low cost. I think the Little League Baseball program is going to donate the nets. All we should have to do is provide some manpower to install it.
How about the Texas? Oh, well, that's what Will was referring to on the new website. There's a link on there to go under contact us, and that's one way to do it. And you can pick which official you want to send an email to. And there's also what's that?
Text My Gov.
Text My Gov on there. That also you can go on there and fill out a complaint and send it to the official as well. And by the way, the new website is live, so it's actually it's www.southpittsburgh-dm.com. Don't put in .gov.
For the drainage, have we still got the state coming in to look at all of our drainage issues?
They don't only look at state roads.
Mark Heisner, I work with
We're
him.
responsible for all city roads.
I know we had one guy here come in here one night and said he.
Mark, so he's our third party engineer, he can look at it. I mean, at any time, we can call him and get him to come look at it, and he can give us his advice and like engineering wise. But we don't have anybody that helps fund it.
Right now, Mark Heisner, he's working on, for me anyways, he's working on the drainage by WPG back behind Foodland. That ditch was dug out, but it has nowhere to go. The water, once the ditch fills up, it's probably waist deep, but there's nowhere for the water to go. So once it pulls up, it just runs out of the ditch and it's running into the building. So Mark Heisner, that's what he's working on for me right now. But he would look at anything we need him to.
Man, we got a lot of drainage inside the city. If we get a 6-inch rain or 8-inch rain in 12, 14 hours, the city's gonna flood it.
No, I understand. I gave an example to somebody the other day. We're not in great shape as far as drainage, but I don't think we're in very bad shape. The reason I say that, last month was a record month for rainfall. We didn't flood. I mean, there was standing water in places, don't get me wrong, and I'm not saying we couldn't do better, but we did okay considering the rain we've had. Mark Heisner, his idea behind it all, and I think he'll continue to work on it if we're willing to do it, is to develop a map to show every storm drain in the whole city, and to develop a work order list for our guys to go through and do maintenance and to do inspections on all the drains. The problem is, you're talking, God knows how long to
We've been
develop
working on that night for about 5 years. But it costs money. You have somebody go out and survey every drain, so it's just.
What do you think we can handle in a bad situation?
I've always heard from the older guys that if you get a heavy rainfall of 2 inches in a short amount of time, it'll flood the city. And I don't think we've come. I mean, I think we've come close, but not really close to that.
Yeah, because we barely missed that hurricane last year.
Yeah.
That would have done to us what it done to
Oh yeah.
South Carolina.
So are there no drawings of the city drains now? No.
And a lot of them, when they were put in, whoever put them in decided to put construction barrels and everything else as joints. They just did whatever they could do to get it patched enough to work. You know, and that's not knocking anybody. It's just something we see when we get caught out on a drain and we dig the ground up. You dig the tile up and you'll see somebody's put duct tape and a leather strap around something. You know, like, what happened here? So we go in and we try to repair it the best we can with Mark's help, with Corey Pickett's help, and everybody else. So It's just, you gotta tackle it as you get them. I mean,
I can,
thank y'all.
thank you.
It's taken care of.
Thank you.
The only thing I have to add to my written report is I forgot to put on there that, I have one officer that I'm training for code enforcement and dog catcher. He went to a school last week. I got several more schools for him to go to help us out on that. On building inspection, we've issued several new, building permits. We issued one for the, racetrack, last week, so that project's ready to kick off and go. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hey, let me ask you, if you see a wild animal running in tame, like a red fox,
Don't chase it.
I know, not going to,
Don't shoot.
but is there some way we can, cause this is right below Sean's house, and right on that corner there, I've seen it there every day. I mean, this week, it's living in that cupboard there.
All right. I can contact,
And I'm not saying you
TWRA
have to, I'm just
and see if
kinda-
they can come down and help us. I don't
Yeah.
think Will wants me to capture a fox and take it down to the pound for him to him to
There,
look
I mean,
at.
it's a
But
beautiful spot,
Yeah.
I just don't wanna see it get.
that's the second time I've gotten that. I
Yeah.
do have a request in the TWRA to come down and see if they can trap it and maybe move it to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't take it across the state line and it
Yeah.
comes back, but, you know.
But it's beautiful.
I'll do what I
It's a
can.
beautiful
Just give me a
spot.
call. My number's on the
I'll call you.
website, and, well, you call me over there,
Yeah.
so call and tell me you'll come.
What about armadillos?
What about armadillos?
Yeah, can you
I
shoot
wish-
'em?
I wish they'd go back to Texas. They're considered a varmint, so, and I think let me get with TWRA, make sure, but I'm pretty sure that it's a varmint and you can dispose of them how you want to.
They carry.
If you do it on your own, don't call me though, okay? Because I don't want to be part of the crime.
They carry leprosy.
Thank you. All right, no old business, we'll move on to new business. Resolution 1049.
Let's get,
You know where Sean.
No, could I say one thing? There's something I think I need to say about the Armory that'll put in perspective. If we don't do this grant, and we wanna use that building, the AC system is so old you can't get parts for it, it doesn't work very well. The electrical panels need to be replaced, and the plumbing needs to be redone. And that's $350,000 to $450,000 that the city would have to pay.
Thank you, Ben. In other words, use the grant.
I'm slow sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
old.
thank you, finally. Mike, it's grant.
Under new business, resolution 1049, authorization for the board of mayor and commissioners of South Pittsburg, Tennessee, in compliance with Tennessee Code annotated 103103, to establish the Dean Pearson Library as an independent public library of its own. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second for discussion? Do I hear a second for discussion?
What the hell is that?
We have a second.
Commissioner Allen.
Wait,
Discussion.
discussion.
I got a question, please. Last time, when I seconded the motion, you had a drinking library board, and there's no one from South on the board, and that, our library, the board had complete control. Now, this deal here, does our board have any control over the library at all? The
Yes.
library board, did they not answer to us?
No.
We had no say-so at all. Wait a minute. Which library board? If you adopt this resolution, you all, as a body, will appoint the members of the city's library board. The legislative body of the city, by state law, if you adopt this resolution, you will appoint the members of the city's library board. So if with any problem at the library, personnel or anything, does the library board come to us?
Well, right now, you have city employees who are working at your library, correct? So, under state law, the executive director of your library or your librarian would work for the city's library board. That library board hires, in other words, the person that's going to oversee your library. So to say you have control, I mean, you don't have direct control, but you have ultimate control because you control the board. If that makes sense.
You control the money.
Right.
Control the money.
Yes.
Because the money will come from the county directly to the city. And we've already got X amount of dollars in our budget every year, and this will just increase the funding for this library. And we will, I understand me correctly, Mr. Council, we will select the board members of that board.
Correct.
Then the board members will make a motion to hire the director. They will make a motion in their board meetings who they want as the chairman of that board.
So if there are any issues in the library, they go to their board, but they answer to us?
In a way, yes. Why are you saying no, Mr. Mayor?
Where is you have the
Statute.
yeah. The board has the authority to direct all affairs of the library, including the authority to appoint a library administrator. The administrator shall direct internal affairs of the library, including hiring, directing such assistants or employees as necessary. The board may enforce rules and regulations, establish branches of service. The board may expend funds, special training, formal education, etc. The board may receive donations, advises, and bequests the use of the city library. It says the board may hold and convey realty and personal property, negotiate leases on behalf of such library. The board shall furnish to the state library agency such statistics and information as may be required. It shall be make annual reports to the county or be the city legislative body or the city that puts this in there. So they hold the authority.
It's better, it would be, that's my opinion, but it'd be better for them, we appointed them, this board, we run it, and we control our library, the way the money is being spent, where they won't be divided between 3 or 4 libraries. They can't give any of our money that we get from the county or the city to a Whitwell library, to a Jasper library, to a Mont Eagle library. They can't give any of that money to them, correct?
The maintenance of effort obligation, once it's established, it's going to have to be, that obligation have to be met in future years, and both by the county and by the city. So, in essence, yes, I think you're correct.
But once the board is formed, we have no control at all.
Yes, you do, you appoint them.
Oh, yes, we appoint them, but I'm just talking about.
Yeah, but you would have to, in response to that, yes, we appoint them, but they're appointed for so many years. as you go on, there's like 1 year terms, 2 year terms, and 3 year terms. Is that
Correct.
correct?
The initial appointment is for staggered terms, and then, once they're appointed, and they serve their staggered term, then all the terms convert to 3-year terms.
We have no control over the Marion County Board right now.
Did we ever get a breakdown of numbers as far as cost and role, as far as looking at both options? I can tell you how much money is budgeted for the city and how much we'll get from the state. I can give you those numbers in just a second. So, this year, the city has budgeted, give me just a moment. I wanna get this correct. We have budgeted, the city has budgeted $61,000. That's for this coming fiscal year. My understanding that we will get, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. City Attorney, around $97,000 from the state. That would be.
From the county.
From the county.
I'm sorry, to the state, to the county, to us. So we would take that $97,000 and amend our budget to reflect that number, in addition to the $61,000. And that would be the budget for the South Pittsburg Library in the coming fiscal year. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
And that number, would that include, I guess, insurance for employees, and that'd be everything, laundry as far as operation costs?
Well, you have some employees right now who are included in the city's portion of correct.
And I can break that down to, the wages currently are $35,000, payroll taxes $2,700, retirement $200, and that's the breakdowns currently that the city is paying to, as of today, our library employees.
What were we getting from the county
Before, last year, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, it was around 96,000.
No, it was not.
No. 68,000.
68,000.
68,000.
I'm sorry. And then this year it's 97.
That's correct.
So, and why, okay, let me explain this. The total amount is 101, and the reason why we're not getting 100, or 301, the reason we're not getting 100 is because they sent the money. So, yeah, I apologize for that.
$40,000. 158 if we adopt this.
No, 97 to 68. That's what we got.
Yeah, 97
Yes.
from 68.
Yeah. So if we adopt it, we get 158,500 for our library, for our use only. If we don't, it's 118.
And that would include all the salaries and operational costs in that budget amount.
Councilman Stone's done the thing over here, there's $29,000 difference is what it would be. But there are other costs involved. Such as Tennessee retirement, such as employee insurance, workman's compensation, insurance for the board.
So right now, the county pays for all those items?
Only for the library. Not for your.
Not for the board. Board don't get paid anything. There's no insurance for the board.
Who owns the building?
City owns it.
City owns it.
Okay.
You would be required a separate audit. We would have.
No, you would not.
No. We would have to keep books in-house, and the city is required to do a separate audit of it. That's wrong.
That's not true.
That's not true, Sean. That's what the state of Tennessee told me.
That's not what
No,
Jamie
that's not
Ritter
right.
says. Got it right.
That's not right, Sean. Get your facts right.
The city's library operation could be audited as part of the city's overall audit.
Exactly.
That's correct.
But you would have to check with your auditor, if you have an audit contract, to make sure whether there would be an additional cost added to your overall audit. Because it can be audited separately, but it can also be audited as part of the city's overall audit.
Any other discussion?
I'm just having a problem with, would they be accountable to us?
Your board,
Their board if there's a problem inside the library, that board have to answer to us and correct the problem?
Your library board would deal with any issues that come up in the library first. If there is, I hate to say this, but if there's wrongdoing by your library board, then you have the ability to remove them for cause. I'm not sure that's ever happened in the history of our county, but that right exists. If you have a library board that goes rogue and they do something contrary to the law, or there's cause for them to be removed, you do have the authority to do that.
So we have more control now?
Right now, you have none.
Right, we have zero.
Yeah, you got less than zero. You don't even have anybody on the board from South Pittsburgh. We have any other discussion up here?
Is this board any different from the zoning board or the planning board?
Yeah, the zoning board doesn't have any money.
That's pretty good.
All right, let's call for the vote.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar?
No.
Commissioner Myers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone? Mayor Pips?
No. Why would you abstain?
Cause I wasn't at the meeting, I wasn't at the workshop. I've not had
You're
any
there.
numbers put in front of me.
All right, we got a draft for contract on Princess.
No.
No.
We got 2 and 2.
Look, you had abstention. So the
Yeah.
motion fails.
No. You got 2 and 2. Abstain don't count.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tie.
It's a tie.
It gets carried over to your
Carried over to the next meeting.
order of business.
I'll call a special meeting next week to discuss this.
When are you planning on having?
It will be 2 weeks from now. Well, once I was gonna talk about that once we get to the Princess.
If we can, let's get a hard number on these, on everything.
With those numbers I gave you on the incoming revenue is pretty solid.
So when do you think you'll know?
On the special call.
Yeah.
So I was looking at, I think you guys are out next week, right? Is it? No, that's not next week, I'm sorry. So I was looking at, look at my calendar, next Tuesday. If that's what you're available. But I was gonna discuss that when you guys are available, have a special call meeting on that particular item.
Okay. Because we can do it all the
Yeah,
time.
you can.
Is that agreeable?
What day?
We don't know. He's going to look at it here in just a minute. Which will be next on the agenda.
Yes, next item on the agenda is the Princess Theater contract. I need to table that because the brewers are still looking over the contract to see if there's any issues they might have. So we can sit down with the city attorney and tweak it if need be, or leave it as is. So I'd like to table that, so our next meeting. If you guys are available, we need to have a special call meeting anyway to do the second reading on the budget amendment for the Princess Theater, so I was looking at next Tuesday. If everyone's available in the library, I think city attorney can be taken up at that time.
Yes, sir.
6 o'clock on Tuesday, have plenty of time. Yes. Here.
The county, city attorney has conflicts on that.
I have a conflict at 6 o'clock. I can do it early.
We can do it, what's the best time? Excuse me.
4 or 4:30.
Can you guys come out?
Okay, 4:30 is fine. We'll advertise that on the website and, post it in the necessary places. What do you mean, yeah, what time? Don't,
4:30.
Well, you said I could. Yes, I'll be here just speak up and I can hear. I'll be here just for you.
So I would like to table that contract and revisit that next week at our special call meeting. If that's okay with this board.
So the two items on the agenda. Yes.
And I'll send that agenda out to you.
Chief,
Yes, sir. Hold on, I'm directing police department too at the same time.
Next on the agenda is the ISOMS contract. This is an operating system for the police department. And I will let the chief speak on that, and I can talk about the monetary cost of it once he's finished with the project.
We're currently under a software program that we use that is just specifically to the police department. This ISOMS program is, we are actually joining in conjunction with Marion County Sheriff's Department along with several other agencies across the state of Tennessee. I think Whitwell's already live with them at this moment. What this gives us the ability to do is City Hall, our clerks will have the ability to look into that computer, or they're not having to constantly call me for a report. They'll be able to get that. As an investigative tool, I'm able to go into this program and look across anyone who's in there that is paired with this to gain information. It's a great investigative tool for us. Plus it has live dispatch. This program is a fantastic program, and we're getting it at a fraction of the cost because we are going underneath Marion County Sheriff's Department. I acquired some money already on a donation from the Housing Authority, which cut our portion down, I think, to like $15,000. But this is something that is really going to help not just my department out, but the clerks in City Hall as well. It makes everything flow a whole lot easier.
Is it just for county-wide or statewide?
The ISOMS it's a program that has been started. I can't tell you how many counties and cities that are part of this. I know it's a large part of the state. I know that Marion County's got it right now. Whitwell is on board with them. I'm hoping the board approves this so that I can go on board with them as well. It's a database which they collect everything and they hold it for us. I don't have to pay for a separate, what is it called, cloud? I think it's the one that's raining on me. But it just makes everything flow so much smoother and easier, and it has so many tools with this that I can get into. From my desk, I can search who's in jail. It helps me a lot. Not only my side, but the clerk side as well, for accident reports, tickets that they need, offense reports.
And it provides,
So it's a local thing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
It provides computer-aided dispatch, record management, jail management, and like the chief was saying, many counties have gone to this and cities. And if I'm not mistaken, you can interact with other counties as well, not just Marion.
I can through just a few strokes of the keyboard.
Chief, if I may, it sounds to me like it's going to make it more efficient operation.
Yes, sir.
It sounds like it's going to make the residents safer in the community as an overall.
Yes, sir. It gives me up-to-date information that I don't have to wait for.
Yes, sir.
Now, what we need approval on is the cost associated with contracting with ISOMS. It is budgeted for in this year's budget, so the money's there. The cost of the run is $21,000 with a cost of $2,000 annual, and that includes, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief, training,
Yes,
all
sir.
the software needed, and if there's any issues with the software, they will come out and
Yes, sir.
enable.
Does that cover any software upgrades throughout
Yes, sir.
the year or whatever?
Yes, sir.
Hardware, what about hardware? The hardware.
We already have it in place. They've already came down and actually took the data that I have, and they are converting it over to their program. So I'm not gonna lose anything like we have in the past when we switched programs. We'll still have our data and can still move forward as well.
All we need from the board is approval to enter into this contract, and of course, pay the fees associated with all software.
Motion?
Second.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Douglas?
Yes.
Commissioner Myers?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stone? Mayor Gibson?
Yes.
All right, next on the agenda is ordinance 860, and that is amending the Princess Theater budget for operations this year, now that we've got it under new management. I'm asking the board to fund the Princess to the tune of $250,000, and I'll break that cost down for you. Princess Theater advertising, $25,000, concessions, $10,000, and entertainment, $215,000. We had a workshop on this, and we went over some of the costs associated with these services with the board, and I feel like this would be a step in the right direction, getting the Princess Theater up and running, and be a great investment in our downtown community. And as I explained to the board, the Princess Theater is a jewel to this city. Will it make money this year? Probably not. Will we get some of this money back? I think we will. But I do know, as is, it's sitting there not making any money. And we've got a beautiful building downtown that we desperately need to use to attract people to us. And that's what this ordinance is, and that's what I was waiting to get to as far as a special call meeting. I need 2 readings on this, and the first would be tonight, and the second would be next week at special call meeting.
Hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Allen?
Questions?
Yes, sir.
You're talking, we don't even have an idea from the brewers of what percentage. We're gonna get 10% back, 15% back, and you're looking at, she told us in the workshop, it may be 5 years.
That's true.
So if we go 5 years of this,
I hope.
$1 million, talking $1 million, and we get 10% back or 20% back, we only make.
Well, we're gonna look at it every year. We're not gonna just spend $1 million without looking at
That's right.
our budget. I mean, if we're losing money every year, we're gonna address it. I would hopefully address it in 1 year.
And just to put it in perspective, let's say last year, give me just a second. The Princess Theater, just sitting there, we spent $75,000. It's just sitting. So, I see this as an investment in your community. I can't tell you how much we're gonna bring in this year, because I don't know. But I do know we're not going to bring anything in the city. And the city of South Pittsburg is extremely lucky to have a building.
I agree, don't get me wrong, I agree with all that. But we're sitting here in a financial situation, we just raised everybody's property taxes, 135.4% was the number. And we wanna spend approximately $1 million on the armory. We wanna go spend another $300,000 or $400,000 here. We don't wanna do the library because we can make money on the library. I don't know.
$1 million is grant money. We need to.
Now, we budgeted, we're gonna have to spend money out of our own pocket for the armory. I saw you.
Yeah, I did wink.
Yeah, yeah, that's
because-
good,
Yeah,
that's good.
I did wink.
Sure.
Call for a vote, at least you go a vote.
No. Yeah, we,
Commissioner Allen?
no.
Commissioner Duggar?
Yes.
Commissioner Myers?
I got lost. Yes.
Really?
Vice Mayor Stone? Mayor Henson?
Yes.
I did what I wanted to do.
Sure you did.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, we got one more.
Oh, the land thing, I was about to leave you out, man, I'm sorry.
We're making some money. Don't skip that one.
Come on, I'm sorry.
Jason Farmer, Riverstone Construction, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Really nothing's changed since my last proposal, other than I met with city attorney and city manager and have our contract. We've Mr. Heinzner for our civil engineer to move forward, Danny Dancy, the surveyor, to move forward. I think all we're asking for is this body to, I think you've now gotten an appraisal. My offer is above, my understanding is my offer is above what the fair market appraisal was. So at this point, I'm asking this body to approve our contract, and then we'll move forward to both rezoning and platting at Planning Commission.
Yes, and Mr. Farmer's offer was $456,000 on 38 lots on Irondale. The appraisal was complete, and it came in at $396,000. And at our last board meeting, this board voted to approve the sale contingent on the appraisal. You each have the appraisal now, and like Mr. Farmer said, his offers quite a bit more than what the appraisal came in.
The only stipulation I would have, the original contract I submitted was some time ago. I would resubmit it with the same due diligence period of 90 days, which would allow me to go through your planning commission process and civil drawings and that type of thing for 90 days, starting when.
And as Mr. Farmer was stating, that the rezoning aspect of it, we have it on the agenda for Thursday. The property down there currently is zoned as industrial. We need to have it zoned as residential.
Motion by Commissioner Vice Mayor Stone.
So, one question. So what was the price of the houses once you turned it over to the Horton Group?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's somewhat market driven. The anticipation will be in the high 2s to low 3s.
Nobody in this town can afford that.
You can't afford a library, you can't afford the Princess Leia. That's right. I mean, they're crazy.
Do we have a second? I'll second.
Commissioner Allen?
No.
Commissioner Duggar?
Yes.
Commissioner Myers? Vice Mayor Stone?
Yes.
Mayor Henson?
Yes. All right, now let's get back. Motion to adjourn.
Somebody's bringing money.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
Commissioner Duggar? Yes. Commissioner Myers? Vice Mayor Stone?